Hey babes, on this episode, I get real and raw with you, really authentic, really late at night, talking about all of the real things that happen as a business owner. So enjoy and let me know how you think. Are you a beauty or barber pro looking for that push to do that thing you've always wanted to do, whether it's in or out of the salon, spa, or shop? Are you tired of not feeling good enough, smart enough, skilled enough? Are you tired of not getting a handle on your mental health, boundaries, and insecurities? I'm Krystine Sherwood, the Beauty Pro Coach, an internationally certified coach, a salon and spa owner, and your personal Jiminy Cricket. I use my own experiences, good and bad, as a salon owner to help you be more self aware, authentic, and forward thinking in your approach to life, in and out of the salon. It's time to reach your version of success with the Beauty Pro Coach podcast. Hey, babes. So, in today's episode, I'm going to share a little bit about what has been the theme for today and even for the hiring process. So, first and foremost, I just want you guys to know, I have been totally slacking um in my recordings. Usually I batch out content for weeks and I have so many episodes. But I have been totally overwhelmed, I think. So I haven't been able to really batch out episodes the way I would like. Um, so that's kind of what's going on. I've been doing a lot of stuff for our salon. So we have like a summer speaker series happening at the salon. On Mondays, I am meeting with my girls for the Beauty Pro Intensive, which is my 7-week intensive coaching program where every week we go over a different topic for that week of the beauty industry, and it's really great for students. It's really to set the foundation for them for their careers and what they're getting into. But it's also a great program for any beauty or barber pro who just needs a review of what they're doing in their life and in their career. It's great for business owners who are trying to find that little pinpoint where that leak is. This coming Monday, we're going over communication and how communication is different when you're talking to your clients, when you're talking to your employees, when you're talking to your renters, when you're talking to your assistant, when you're talking to other business owners, the conversation is totally different, the communication piece. And so we're going to be going over that and how, as a leader in your salon, whether you're the manager or the receptionist or the owner, right, you have to communicate a little bit differently. And marketing is part of communication. Public relations strategy is part of communication. So we're really going over that next week, which is exciting. But I have been, so we're doing that. We're doing the speaker series at my salon, and we're going to have um, a nationally known boudoir photographer who actually was learning alongside Matt Matthews, who is a farmer. He is a gay farmer, cowboy farmer, boudoir photographer, comedian, and he's on Instagram. But it's not him who's teaching the class. It is a class Facebook classmate. Her name is Nicole Boudoir Photography. Nicole Ray, and she is freaking amazing. She's coming to the salon tomorrow. I am so excited. And we're going to be learning from her. And she's going to be teaching about confidence and how to create confidence in your clients and how to just kind of radiate that so they can catch it, so then they can go out into the world and spread that energy to people too. Like, it's a whole thing. It's very exciting. And so I've been really consumed with that. My gym right now is having like a hell week, kind of their version of what the Navy SEALs go through. And so every workout is like you just want to curl up and die. But you can't because these CrossFit coaches are like in your face, yelling at you, one more rep. And it's just like, oh my God, like stop. But my whole body is sore, so there's that. And then, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know all about Senor Choco, who's my little 3-year-old beagle. My birthday's coming up, so like I have a lot of things, and I haven't been able to kind of just sit down and batch out all of my coaching episodes that I've been wanting to do. And so right now I am recording this at 9:52 at night, ready for Thursday, which is today, um, in the morning. So this will go out in about 2 hours. It'll go live. So it's very exciting. But in any case, so yeah, so I kind of want to talk about what the theme of today was. And it was basically about how we let our current renters and team members, employees, how we let them know that a former employee is no longer on the team. Um, and as you know, as you've been listening, I have had salon walkouts. We know that people don't leave businesses, they leave people, right? Something about the owner or the leader they just don't like, they don't jive with. Like something is just not meshing. And so they leave to find something else. And so the theme for today is we were talking to one of my renters, and she was asking like, "Hey, where's so and so?" And um one of the girls was like, "Oh my god, I don't know how to do this. Like, Krystine, come help me. Like, I don't know." Anyway, so the thing was, as we said, no, well, they decided to leave. They decided to go. And it was very real. It was very like that's their decision. And as a salon leader in this industry, one, the beauty industry is a small industry. So you do not want to burn any bridges whatsoever. Um, and so we have to really take on this mentality of one, as a business owner, we don't own anybody, right? We don't own anybody. We don't own clients. We don't own employees. We just don't. What we are providing is a really cool, creative, innovative environment for people to come and live out their passions and their livelihoods, right? That's all we do. And we create the systems and the structures so that people can feel and be stable. That once you have the framework set, which this is also something I go over in the Beauty Pro Intensive, once you have your framework and your business model and the way you do things set up, your people will find you. That's just how it works, right? It's the same thing with trying to find a significant other. You have to know who you are so that you know how and where and when to attract your dream girl or guy. It's the same kind of thing. So when you know and you have done everything you know of how to offer somebody and they still tell you no, well, then you as a salon owner, spa owner, you can rest easy knowing that, okay, I did all that I could do. Um, I did all that I could do, and it's their choice. So I have to be happy with where I'm at, and they have to be happy where they're at. And if it's not working on either side, then let them be, right? So that's really like the theme, and that's what we were talking about, because there is a book out there which I have to get. If you have heard of this book, if you have read this book, please let me know how you like it. Send me a message on Instagram, but it is called Let Them. And like the girls were telling me about this book, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so yes, exactly." And basically when people tell you who they are, right? So you have to let them. And then when they want to move on or go to do something else, let them. If they want to argue with you how that the sky is green and the grass is blue, let them. Like you have to just let them be who they are. And that's it. Because eventually what is for you, what is meant for you will find you. Um and with that being said, one thing in my salon is that we have never truly like fired anybody, right? Um, we've never fired anybody. People just kind of, they go through their own thing, so they move on. So we've never fired anybody. And also for our clients, like a lot of our clients, they don't leave us. Like they're pretty faithful. They stay with us. We've seen births and marriages and deaths and all kinds of things. Our clients don't ever really leave. They either move away because of life changes or they pass away. So it's like, oh, okay. That's interesting. So I mean, like I guess it's a good kind of performance indicator to keep in mind, but in any case, um so you have to just let people be who they are. You have to let them find what works for them. And with that being said, when you know what you bring to the table, you know what your goals are financially, reputationally, um, whatever it may be, whoever is for you is going to find you. Okay, great. So then what ends up happening, and this does happen to me quite often, it does happen to me a lot, whether it's with a client or, past employees or whatever, is that I don't ask. A lot of times I do not ask where somebody's going to be out working. When they like if they decide to leave, I usually don't really ask. There have been moments where I'm like, "Hey, you know what? Good for you. If you don't mind, where are you going?" Or what was it that you didn't like here? Or what can we do better next time? Or I do ask those questions every so often. It really depends on the situation. And what happens is when I do not ask and I do not talk about it with the clients. I kind of deflect the situation. I and my team, we kind of just leave it alone. Like it becomes gossip and we don't really want to entertain that. But what ends up happening is that the clients themselves will come and they will tell me, or they will tell my mom because she's my business partner. Like they will tell us just like in regular everyday conversation, be like, "Oh yeah, so I saw so and so at XYZ and it was so weird. I thought they were working here and it was but I saw them there and that's what's going on." And it's me personally, I prefer it that way. I prefer the for the information to come to me. And what I mean by that is if you're a salon or spa owner listening to this and you have W-2 employees who, they do become part of your responsibility, right? They become like your children that you're taking care of. Like you care about their well-being, whether they believe that or they don't. But you grow concerned for them. So then when they leave, that's why it feels so much like a breakup almost, you know? And so when you get the information from a client um or you see it on the internet or somebody comes up and tells you, you're like, "Whoa, what?" Like, you're not asking for the information, like, it literally hits you in the face, comes to you, lays on your desk, like, whatever. And that has always happened to me, even as a kid, when we go through different friend groups and we lose touch of people, like, I I'm not trying to, like, toot my own horn or anything, I'm really not, like, things just you kinda just live your life and the information comes to you. And I really want to encourage you as salon and spa owners to live that way because one, you become blameless. You're not out gossiping. You're not in somebody else's, you're not, putting your nose where it doesn't belong. Like you are in your lane, focusing on your brand, on what you have to give to others, on what your vision is, what your plan is. And it's just better. It's a cleaner slate. You don't have to worry about it so much. And then when somebody comes to you, you're like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay. I wish them the best." And like all the emotion is kind of gone already. So, yeah, so the lesson today was really about just let them go, let them find what is best. What I have found is that I give people too much credit, and maybe this happens to you too. Like you give them too much credit, and you're like, oh, they probably went to whatever your competition, whatever your competing salon is in the area, whether it's more upscale or higher end or whatever it is. You probably are like me, and you're like, oh, they left me for somebody better. Oh my god. They left me because I didn't have whatever your ideal vision of a salon is. Okay. And then whenever the truth actually comes to me and I find out that where they did end up going, it's like, what? You left all of this free education, all of this team environment, creative solutions, actual true care for your well-being to go to somewhere that is actually less than my salon, like, make that make sense, like, how? What? Are you kidding? And so maybe you're like me and that happens to you. If you are and it does, like, that's kind of a blessing in disguise, right? Because the people who are not meant for you, they will be the ones to exit out. They will figure that out before you do. A lot that happens in relationships, right? Like we're always trying to change the guy or the girl. Like we're always trying to make them bigger and better. And then when they decide to leave or cheat on you or whatever, you realize, "Oh my gosh, I was never the problem." Like it was not me. It had everything to do with them, right? And that is something that you can only figure out if you are truly in tune with yourself. And so as a business owner, and I do say this too in past episodes that owning a business is the ultimate form of personal development. Like you want to find out who you are, open up a business. And when I mean open up a business, I don't mean going someplace and taking advantage of them and you take the 70% that they're giving you and you run. That's not owning a business because that business who's giving you 70%, they are going to shut down. They're not going to make any money. They cannot sustain themselves and they will fall apart. And then what happens to you, right? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a legitimate business who is making a profit, that has happy employees, who has renters even, and they're like putting in the work. So it's very it's been a very interesting couple weeks at the salon. And so that's the first lesson is just let people be who they are. Let them be who they tell you, okay? And if that doesn't work for you, let them be because they will leave on their own. Okay, if it's something really intense and you have to get rid of them, well, then by all means. And when you do that, make sure it is legal. So you don't have to increase your tax rate. You don't have to, go through all the lawsuits, all that stuff. So there's that. Then the second thing is that y- you have to, and this goes for clients too, when you are attracting your ideal client, attracting your ideal employee, renter, teammate, is you truly have to know yourself and everything is in play. So, what I mean by that is like my family is actually, they're all from New York. I am the only Florida cracker. And that's what we call a native Floridian, right? Born and raised in Florida. I had to take a drink of water. Hold on. And so I'm the Florida cracker. So I will have sweet tea and biscuits and shrimp and grits, and I will be living my best life. And my entire family from New York City, okay, from Brooklyn, New York, they're like, oh my God, you are such a country bumpkin. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I am eating food, and they're just like, oh my God. So I definitely grew up with those northern influences, and European influences, right? Um and then we're in Florida, so you have like that melting pot of all of the different mindsets and such, and all of that. And then okay, and then the other thing is, I was born in Miami. I grew up in Port St. Lucie, Florida, which I call that home. And so it's very city and it's very much influenced by New York, right? And where my salon is very much the opposite. It is very much a southern town. It is small town thinking vibes. Everybody knows each other. Everybody, grew up together more or less. It's a fishing town. Um, Very small town kind of feel. Okay. It's very country. It's like a little country pocket, where the salon is. So it is the exact opposite of everything that I grew up with. So when it comes to hiring people, not only do I hire people who are going to fit the salon culture, right? Follow the rules and regulations of the salon, have passion, love what they do, want to be better versions of themselves. Like they want to get ahead. They have this growth mindset. Like all the things that I coach about. Not only do these people coming into my salon have to be that way and go-getters and fashionable and all that, but what I am finding is that even so, it's kind of good if they actually share in the same uh, upbringing or personal values or like kind of like the same things that I do, but like as a person. And it's not about like stereotyping anybody, it's about finding your fit. So I want to make that very clear because it can be misconstrued very easily. You're having a business and hiring people, right? It is the ultimate form of personal development. And so with that, you have to find your people, right? If you like drinking hot chocolate, well, then you're going to enjoy hanging around with other people who drink hot chocolate, right? You're not going to hang out with people who hate chocolate or don't or are lactose intolerant, right? You're going to hang out with people who enjoy the same things as you are because it's just smoother and it makes life easier. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here when you go to hire people, all right? Because in our industry, everything is so intimate and so intrinsically connected that your personal life can very easily blend into your work life if you are not careful, right? So, you know, if you are used to walking on Fifth Avenue and you have a salon, you're going to want to hire people who share in that same mentality of big city. You're not going to want to go to the woods and set up a shop and be like little New York, because no one is going to be there who's going to want to even be remotely interested, because they are not most likely in that same mind. They're more like, let's go fishing. I don't want to get my hair done. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Because I feel like I'm rambling at this point. It's been a very long day, you guys, and I'm being very real and very raw. So these are like real thoughts, all of that. So, one, let people be who they are, let them be, let them win, let them, take themselves out, let them go to where it is a good fit for them. Don't try to convince them, don't try to coax them back. Like, let people be free to make their own decisions. That is the beauty of where our industry is heading. That is the beauty of hybrid salons when done properly. That is just the best thing, right? So that's the first. The second thing is that when you have a business, it is very important to understand that everything matters. Your salon culture matters, your own personal convictions matter. Who you are attracts people like you. Uh, and that's a lot of times what works, right? You can't be a go-getter and be dragged down by somebody who's, you know, only want to smoke pot all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to work usually most of the time. So those were the two big things. And then the other thing was like, you got to stay in your lane by keeping yourself educated and knowing your brand inside and out, having a strong presence of who you are. So here's the other thing is that so my salon has been we run things really by the book. I'm always checking the laws, making sure we're up to par, checking out the tax things, like all of that stuff. And it turns out like we're pretty on top of things. And it sucks because there's so much competition out there for harm. And it turns out that quite a few businesses in my area don't like us too well. And from a business standpoint, okay, we are competition. All right, fine. But are we really? Because we have like completely different demographics. We are not the same. Your people are always going to go to you, and my people are always going to, go to me. And it's just a different thing. And so we got to stay humble. We got to stay humble because we don't want to get carried away and being like, oh, yeah, we're the best and everybody hates us. And they're always saying that we're taking everybody's clients. But no, that's not it. What's happening is that client is maybe not going to that salon anymore because they are tired of feeling less than. They want to go to a salon where they feel good, they feel appreciated and valued, heard and seen. Remember, I talked about that. And people are only going to take the abuse for so long until they say, wait a minute, I'm the one paying. I should feel a certain way. So, my point with that story is that, I think I think the industry is changing, both in my community where I'm at and also across the country. For me personally, there is no such thing as competition as far as that goes. You're gonna be aware, but we're not gonna compare because everybody is gonna attract their own version of success. This is what I coach on in my one-to-one coaching too. Like, your version of success may be becoming a billionaire. Another person's version of success is to just live comfortably, with their dog. Like, they're not into performing all the time. So anyway, I that's today's episode. I hope it was something of value. It's a short one this time, but I'm being real. Like, I'm exhausted, you guys. So that's what I have to say this week. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like the authenticity of it. I hope you could relate because this is real. Like, this is real. So I will talk to you guys next time. Make sure you tell your friends, family, coworkers to subscribe to the Beauty Pro podcast, connect with me over Instagram, and definitely watch the guest speakers coming up. I know Sonia Dove was on this week, and next week we have another really awesome guest on the show. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you later. If you loved this episode, subscribe to the Beauty Pro podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave your reviews, stars, feedback so I can continue bringing the content you deserve and want most. Your feedback fuels this podcast. The more you give, the more you get back. You can follow me at The Beauty Pro Coach on Instagram and Facebook. Want to contact me directly? Email me at befree@goldentruthcoaching.com.